Hello, this is Miller from the Wee Market Co-op, and we're making 5 dips today. This is an ultra simple Thousand Island dressing dip, which is the pompidou peppers, those red sweet hot peppers, and mayonnaise. This is the olive tapenade, which is 3 different olives, olive oil, oregano or Italian spice, blended up in the food processor. This one is the ham salad, which is our wonderful Beeler's ham with pickles and mayonnaise. This is hummus, which is garbanzo beans, tahini, garlic, cumin, and spice with olive oil and lemon juice. This one is red lentil dal. Dal is the correct name for it, or pulse. And it's red lentils cooked down with garlic and salt, curry powder, and cumin. All right. Hello, we're making tapenade today, which is an olive spread. We're making 5 spreads altogether, I believe, and they are spreads that you can use, like at home I use butter as a spread, but these are much more healthy. So first of all is tapenade, and it's fairly simple. I use 3 olives, the green olives, Kalamata olives, and the black olives. So I drain the olives, put them in the processor. You have a processor at home, this is really simple. You can use tapenade as a filling on sandwiches. You could use it as you would if you had a pizza. You could use it as, instead of tomato sauce, you can use tapenade. You can use tapenade on, if you get our croissants, you can roll it into the croissant and it would bake it in the oven with some cheese, and it's just a wonderful snack. So it gets the 1 can of green, 1 can of black olives, and then 1 container of Kalamata olives. A clove of garlic, a dash of Italian seasoning. You could just use oregano if you wanted, but I just happen to have some Italian seasoning right here, which is oregano, basil, and parsley. Little bit of lemon juice, that's about a tablespoon, a couple tablespoons of olive oil. See, I'm doing everything by visual. So a little bit of salt, not much because the olives have salt in it. You could eliminate the salt if you wanted to. And then you whiz it up. You're looking for a nice consistency that's spreadable, and if you need to, add more olive oil to it. Okay, so I found my spatulas. Now that's what's nice about having these spatulas, they make a real clean way of cleaning up your tools, cleaning up your containers and moving spreads around. So you'll need spatulas like this if you're going to make spreads. So we're going to give this one more whiz. We have these nice containers. Allow me to make a bunch of stuff and have it ready to go. Now this tapenade should have a nice olivey taste, and you can see it in the container. It should be spreadable, and so that's done. Now we're making hummus. And hummus is garbanzo beans mixed with tahini. And tahini is an important ingredient. There's all different kinds of tahinis. We have roasted tahini here at the store that's quite excellent. There's some white tahinis I really like. It all depends on how you want your hummus to look. I'm draining the garbanzo beans. You can save the juice from the garbanzo beans and make a dairy-free whipped topping. I haven't tried it yet, but apparently it works really good. So here we have 2 cans of garbanzo beans that we put in our food processor. 2 large cloves of garlic. A good hunk of salt. Cumin, where's my cumin? There it is. Now I do this all by feel, so that's about a teaspoon of cumin and a teaspoon of salt. You can always add more salt in. Okay, olive oil is next. About 2 teaspoons of olive oil and a teaspoon of lemon juice, or maybe a tablespoon. You don't want it too lemony, and you don't want it too non-lemony. And then this is the tahini. So I'm going to be putting in, about 2 or 3 tablespoons of tahini. Now we'll start blending it up. You can make hummus from dried chickpeas. That works out just fine. It's cooking the chickpeas that are most difficult, because most chickpeas you come in a can will blend easier than just regular chickpeas. Now you can kind of see that this is pretty thick and coarse. It needs more olive oil. So I put in another couple of tablespoons of olive oil and mixing it up. You can always use water to thin this out. Looks like I should add a little bit of water to it. There we go, now it's mixing pretty good. A good processor should blend up hummus really well. A bad processor, you'll have problems. But it's not terrible. You can go anywhere from a smooth, creamy consistency to a coarse consistency. You want to be able to taste the garlic. You want it salted enough. You want to be able to get a good hint of the tahini. Okay, you can see how that's fairly creamy. I'm going to take a bit of a taste. You can see when you run your spoon from it, it's fairly creamy in there. Let's see what it tastes like. I think it could use a little bit more garlic. Oh. We'll crush another clove of garlic. And put a little bit more olive oil. I really like olive oil in my hummus. And you notice how we're blending this up for quite some time. And this looks nice and creamy. It'll hold up on a chip or a cracker really well. You can put it in a sandwich. One more thing. You can add olives to it and have olive hummus. You can add red peppers to it and have red pepper hummus. You can add extra garlic and have garlicky hummus. You can add hot peppers and have hot pepper hummus. You can add just about anything you want and make it more spicy or less spicy. So this is the basic hummus, and then you can have 5 or 6 other dishes with other stuff. Okay, so here's our hummus. Okay, our next spread is a ham spread. And this is one of the most easy things to do and fairly quick. I'm using the Beeler's ham. And I just recently tasted what is called, it's deviled ham spread, which is ham, pickles, and mustard. So that was in a little container, and I thought it was edible, but not really what I'd like to have. It was kind of awful, actually. It was called deviled ham spread. So if you find it, try it and see what you tell me what you think. But I really like the Beeler's ham. The Beeler's ham is a nice, full-bodied ham. Easy to work with, and very, very tasty. Ham is cured, well, this is uncured ham, but it has salt in it, and so you don't need to add salt to this dish at all. So it's just ham, pickles, and mustard. And we're going to just use a little bit of the Dijon mustard in here, which I think I forgot to put up on the thing. But you notice I'm cutting these into bigger chunks. Not too big of chunks, but the last time I made this, it was about this much, and we ate it up in one night. You can eat it up on toast, on bagels, on just about anything. So you put your food processor together, give it a good whiz, and you notice it's all broken up. Next you want to put some pickles in. Okay, these are the bread and butter pickles. They're from Woodstock, and I find them to be excellent. So we'll put about 6 of these in. Okay, so we have blended up the ham, put in some bread and butter pickles, and we're going to put in some mayonnaise, about a good chunk of mayonnaise. This is the Ma Clark's mayonnaise, and this is the mustard Dijon mustard. Now, if you want it to be a little bit spicier, you can put in some horseradish sauce. We have some really nice horseradish here in the store. Now you blend it again, and what you're looking for is a spread that will actually spread. So I didn't put enough mustard or mayonnaise in, so we'll put a little bit more of that. We'll put a little bit more of the mustard. Then blend it again. There we go. Now it's all blending together. Take a spoon and just check its consistency. looks like it'll spread on a cracker, then that's what you want. Looks good to me. Now, I like a little taste of pickles. So I blended that all up, and now I'm going to take about 6 or 7 slices of bread and butter pickles, more or less, depending on what you want. And I'm going to coarse chop them into small chunks. Because you notice most of the pickles in there have pretty much disappeared. I like to have a little bit of pickle with my ham spread. And put the coarse chopped pickles in. You want to do this at the very end. You can hand blend it, or you can do what I'm going to do, just really quickly incorporate it. Get all those pickles in. There we go. And there's our ham spread. How long did that take? Just a few seconds. And that used up 1/4 ham. Looks wonderful. Okay. Okay, now here's another really simple spread. It's a type of 1,000 Island spread. 1,000 Island is a mayonnaise spread that's got a little heat, got a little sweet, and you're able to spread it like a spread. So what we're going to do, I came up with this years ago when I didn't want to buy a bottle of 1,000 Island dressing, and I also wanted to have one that just had the fewest amount of natural ingredients. So we're going to put in a couple cups of mayonnaise into the food processor. Maybe that's like 3 cups of mayonnaise. This product is the Pompidou peppers. They're a hot sweet pepper, and I just love them for this recipe. You want to put the juice of the peppers in there, and then grab a bunch of peppers and put them in there. You can make this as peppery as you want, or as less peppery as you want. Those are the only ingredients. Put your lid back on and whiz it up. Okay, that's pretty whizzed up, but I noticed that it's a little on the thin side, so I'm going to add 2 more big spoonfuls of mayonnaise, and then whiz it once more. There we go. That's done. So that's a nice 1,000 Island dressing. This you can use for corned beef sandwiches. You can use it as a dip for your chips. Just a really nice thing. You can thicken it with a little bit of cream cheese if you want it to be a more substantial dip. Now we're going to make a curried red lentil. I love these red lentils because they mash up. When you cook them just a little bit, they get really soft very quickly. You don't have to blend them or anything, so we're not using the food processor for this. You could if you wanted to. So I've got 4 cups of red lentils, 4 cups of hot water, and I'm going to add them together. And then I'll stir them up a little bit. We may have to add a little bit more hot water in a little bit. It'll take about 10 minutes for the red lentils to completely, what I call when beans get cooked is when they break. There's a point at which they go from hard to soft, and I call it the break point. It'll take about 10 minutes for these red lentils to get that point. In the meantime, we're going to cut up some garlic. Now you could fry this garlic ahead of time or roast it. You could use garlic chopped in the jar. I'm just going to use some fresh garlic that I mince up. As you noticed, I smashed it first. On a lot of my recipes, I say add 1 clove of smashed garlic. Well, this is smashing it and then chopping it. That small garlic clove you can smash down to the smithereens. A bigger one you always have to kind of cut up a little bit. So there's 2 cloves of smashed garlic. Let's see. So as soon as this water starts to boil, you'll see the red lentils change color and then break. All in a short amount of time. I might have to add some more water. I put 4 cups of water in there. It looks like it may need another 2 cups. This red lentil spread it'll cook up. You'll add the ingredients: olive oil, garlic, curry powder, a little cumin, salt. Mix it all up and then refrigerate it, and you've got a really nice spread. If you want to use it as an accompaniment to something like vegetables, you can serve it hot. You can serve it cold. It lasts in your refrigerator about a week. Let's add in another cup of water. Now you can kind of see I can see it, I don't know if you can see it, but I can see the red lentils starting to break already. Okay, see how they're changing color now? And it's been only about 4 or 5 minutes? So we're getting close. We can start adding on our spices. This is the garlic, 3 cloves of garlic. We can put in about a teaspoon or so, I do this by eye, of curry powder, a little bit of cumin, not necessary, but I kind of like it, and salt. Where did I put the salt? There it is. Salt, about a teaspoon, or less than a teaspoon of salt right now. You can add in a few chili pepper flakes. Always gets it a little nice spice to it. And we're gonna wait until it totally mushes up. And now you can see it turning more yellow than red. We're getting close to being done. I might have to add a little bit more water to that. There's another half a cup. So in the span of maybe is 10 minutes that we've been filming, it's gone from the hard red lentils to just close to being broken down enough to be called a dip. At this point, it's easy to burn the curry. It's easy to burn the red lentils, so watch out for that. If you have it on a high burner, you want to stir it often, or just watch that it doesn't burn. So we're getting there. I can smell it. I can smell the lentils and the curry powder. We probably got another 5 minutes for this to cook, and then it'll be done. Okay, today we made 5 dips, and you can expand those dips. Like the hummus, you can make 4 or 5 different varieties easily. The lentil spread, you can make a couple different varieties. I found that over this time of staying at home, it's nice to have something that's nutritious. These are all nutritious snacks that you can eat with chips or crusty bread. We have wonderful baguettes here at the store that toast up very nicely, and it makes for a nice beginning to the meal. It makes for a nice addition to the meal you're making, like if you're doing a rice dish, any of these things will go well with the rice dish. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.